Recently, a lot of clients have come to me complaining about bot traffic and ghost leads, both through form fills off their website and phone calls. I've talked to a lot of agencies the last 2 weeks, and they've had the same complaint. And of course, the question is what's happening and how do we mitigate this? So we can't get rid of it 100%, but there are 5 things that you can absolutely do to help reduce these things from coming, largely coming from overseas. But in today's age, there's a lot going on with AI and people testing out these bots that actually do the phone calls and form fills for them. So it's coming from all over the place. It's very dangerous. And quite frankly, it's just a waste of our time and our resources if we're paying for ads on Google. So without further ado, we're going to hop right in and go through my top 5 things you can do to mitigate bot traffic. Number one is probably the most obvious, and many of you are probably aware of this, but make sure that your website has a CAPTCHA. We're on my website now. I'm on my contact page, and here at the bottom of my form, I have a CAPTCHA. Very difficult for bots to complete this task. They can pre-fill certain elements of a form and hit submit, but the CAPTCHA is going to mitigate those bot form fills. So step one, put a CAPTCHA on all forms on your website. Absolutely mandatory. Now, again, most of you probably have that, which is good, but just as an FYI for those of you that don't, this is step number one. Step number two, let's hop into Google Ads. I've got a Performance Max and a search campaign live right now. We're going to start with my search campaign. I'm going to navigate over here to the gear shift. We're going to go into our settings for the campaign, and I'm going to navigate towards the networks that we are on. Now, when people build and then I audit their campaigns, I typically see the search network and the display network included. That's by default. It's by no error of the builder, but deselect these. Please remove both. If you are getting hit with spam and bot traffic, remove the display network and remove the search partners. Display is notorious for spam and bot traffic. And search partners, I would say this year alone in 2025, it has definitely increased. So deselect both these. So display network, those are banner ads that appear on ESPN and weather.com. Search network is websites and URLs that Google owns and can show ads on in a variety of formats. Unfortunately, these two alone are usually the culprit for spam and bot traffic. So it's very difficult for them to do the actual search network, but the Google search partners right here and the display network, major culprits. Please go through and deselect these on search campaigns if you're being hit with spam. I'm gonna hit save on that. That's step number two. All right. Now, Performance Max is cross network, right? It will always show or be available to show on those networks. Unfortunately, we can't deselect them. So one thing we can do now is go in and add a negative keyword list at the account level. So you can add negative keywords to a search campaign. You can even add them even more granular to an ad group. Again, with Performance Max, we can't do that at the campaign level. And Performance Max is another huge vulnerable campaign for bot and spam traffic. So how do we mitigate that? We're going to go over here to admin on the left-hand side, go to your account settings, and we're going to select negative keywords right here, and then hit the big blue plus sign. So this negative keyword list is a master negative keyword list that would be applicable to all campaigns live today and built in the future. So be careful not to add words that you don't want to block in the future. But if you can sit down and come up with 20 to 25 negative keyword lists that you know no matter what are going to be applicable to your ads, I would add them here. This is going to help protect Performance Max traffic again. So for me, that's using words like job, salary, hiring, employment. I don't want people looking for work in Google Ads or work with a digital marketing agency. So I add all of those as negative keyword lists. So think about the words that are on the peripheral of your industry, but that if they were included with one of your keywords would make it irrelevant. And then add that as a negative keyword list again at the account level under admin and account settings. Then you're going to hit save right here, and you've got a master negative keyword list. You can always reverse these, by the way. You can always come back in here and remove negative keywords if you feel like you made a mistake or were overreaching. But I would try to have a pretty robust master negative keyword list here in account settings. All right. So I mentioned that foreign traffic is a big culprit of some of this traffic. So one of the easier things to do is to come in here on your campaigns and go to locations. On the left-hand side, audience keywords and content, click the location button. We'll let this bring up. And then here at the top, you can see my ads are running here in Florida where I am. Hit location exclusions, hit the blue pencil here on the left-hand side. And here's where we can add some countries that we know are culprits. So just as an example, I'm going in here and adding Russia and India, okay? So go in here and exclude a lot of countries. You can also go to your Google Analytics account and look where traffic's coming from outside the US if you're based here in the United States. Pull those that are non-US based and put them on your exclusion list. Now, if you're not in the US, if you're in Europe or Asia or the Middle East, you might do the opposite, right? If you're seeing bad traffic come from the United States, you might block the US and those surrounding areas. Now, if you're a national company, obviously you need to tread lightly. I'm talking primarily to US based businesses who see a lot of spam traffic from certain countries, and we want to go ahead and exclude those. This is not a fail safe, all right? This is just we're doing everything that we can to try to mitigate it. This is one small step. Hit save when you're done adding those countries. All right. And last but not least, I want you to consider using software. So I've had some businesses that have been hit big time, upwards of over 200 spam phone calls in a matter of 3 weeks, which is really, really horrible. So for those cases, I use a software called ClickCease. I've got it right here in the upper left-hand corner because it's kind of hard to think about how that might look when you spell it out, but it's clickcease.com. It's very inexpensive, around $100 a month. You can add URLs here. You can see I've got that ppcguy.com, so I'm protecting that PPC, and they're going to block IPs. They've blocked 16 just in the last week. And you can see they're kind of telling me how much money I've saved by blocking some of that traffic. Threat level low, substantial, and critical. So I've had some definitely bad traffic try to use my ads, which is awesome. So those are the 5 things I would consider doing. First, make sure you have a CAPTCHA on all forms on the website. Remove display partners and the display network. Use a account level negative keyword list. Exclude foreign countries that are irrelevant to your business. And then 5, consider using a software like ClickCease. I am not paid or affiliated with ClickCease in any way. And if there's an alternative, look into that as well. Just for me and my agency, I have found this experience to be a very positive one for our clients in helping mitigate bot traffic. Best of luck to all you advertisers out there. Please leave questions and comments down below, and I wish you all the best running your ads. Talk to you later.